Hey guys, so this video is coming up on our full moon, and I'm starting to, give ideas and ways to work with the full moons and the new moons and things like that. Because many people, they hear about it, they want to know what to do with it and how to use it according to the sign that it's in. So I've been doing more videos on that. Now this full moon coming up is actually going to be, I believe it's either going to be, depending on your time zone, it's either going to be between Sagittarius and Capricorn or freshly into Capricorn, which means it'll still have a new Sagittarius energy. On top of that, this full moon is actually on a Friday the 13th. Now, there's all this crap behind Friday the 13th being spooky, superstitious, and all that. If you're into cult, you already know this is a lie. First of all, the 13th, the number 13 is the number of spirituality. It's a great number of spirituality. And when you break the number 13 down, it breaks into 4. And we know 4 is actually the representation of, or the numbers of, the representation of the different directions, the 4 directions coming together. And when the 4 directions come together, or earth, air, fire, and water, the 4 elements come together, it mixes, it creates ether, or opens the doorway to spirits. And that's why this is also so important. And of course, as a shameless plug, in my book, Magical Numbers, I actually speak about the number 4 in its very simplest form so that from baby to adult can get the basic, simplest understanding and roll with it. So, and that in the United States, that is on still on pre-order on my website. On top of that, but getting back to the video, on top of that, the number 4, when you understand that, opens up the doorway. And when you get into Sagittarius, Sagittarius is the great knower. Sagittarius is the, they see things in a different way, basically. They're able to peek into different ideologies by breaking them down and bringing them back. Just as you throw an arrow, you have to pull an arrow back in order for it to go. And this is why a lot of people misunderstand Sagittarius, because when something comes to them, they take a minute to break it down to the original materials first, and then they're able to put it back together and then use it the way they need to use it for themselves. Now, with understanding, with this full moon having Sagittarian energy and freshly new Capricorn energy, Capricorn is a great user. Their key phrase is I use. And again, this is the way that I work with energies, my understanding. Feel free to have your own, but this is how I do it. So with Capricorn being a great user, this full moon is a great time to, the full moon being the time that everything should be set, locked, and getting things together, then everything is waning away after the full moon. This one is a great time to do spells to show you what it is that needs to be moved away, what it is that you have, what it is that you can use, and what it is that you have used, because energy has to move. So it's only so once you have something, you use the energy from it, and then you pass it on to go back into the earth or wherever it needs to go to be recreated again for someone else to use. So this is a great time to look at it and see what you have, old energy that needs to move on, and what energy you have that you haven't tapped into yet, that you haven't used yet. Also, it's a great time to do spells to bring people and things to you that you can use outside. You can use outside yourself to help you create life you want. For instance, if you are looking for a job, this would be a great time to do a spell to bring information towards you. Well, not necessarily information, actually literal, still information, but actually little papers for your jobs that's hiring. For you to have an open ear, so when you can hear other people's conversations saying that if you're out and about, well, this company's hiring, this company's do this. So open new paths and avenues for you. This is a great time to do, not necessarily open spells, more so let's get it together spells, basically. Again, it's a great time to keep it very simple. Like if you want to do a spell to see if because it's a user spell, if the people around you are literally, or they can help you, or if you need to go out and get other people or find new avenues. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Oh, it's a great time to do indicator spells. That's the one I'm looking for. Do I have a candle? Indicator spells are... One second, let me get a candle. Okay, now, make sure y'all can't see this one, because I didn't wipe the names off of that one. Okay, now for those of y'all who are looking at this, it looks familiar, because a lot of y'all seen it from Kat's video, because she does indicator spells all the time. Capricorn is a great time to do indicator spells, because you can use it to see, again, what energy you have used, what you need to start using. This one I did for somebody who wanted to know which divination they should use, because they felt as though their old divination, which is at the top, which was oracle cards, was waning away. They didn't feel connected, and they wanted to know. They was trying to figure out, because they didn't know anything else. Why am I looking over here? Let me look over there. They didn't know anything else besides oracle cards, and I was giving them other ideas of ways to do divination. So they wanted to know different divinations. So on here, there's oracle cards, there's fire, there's auto writing, tarot, pendulum, straight mediumship, which is when you just tap into talking to spirits directly without anything in between, and then cartomancy. And these are the ones I gave her, because I gave her water, mirror, all the other ones. These are the ones that she chose. So now this is a 7-day candle. You do not have to use a 7-day candle when dealing with this for the new moon. You can use the smaller ones like this, and you can pretty much use any color, but I would suggest, pink for love, still go with the color codes, but white is all purpose. White's for everything. So, and whites are normally the cheapest ones you can find, especially these are like 50 cents or $1. So you could write on this, and you'll get by the next day, if not by the end of that night, couple hours, this would be out, unless you're one of those people who are very confusing and always have to have deep thought and weighing deep things, and because it still all connects to your energy, and your energy will depend on how fast or how slow it burns down. What I mean by your higher self, that energy. So on here, you can see that it is went away from oracle, but her I have to look at it, I can't see. On this one it showed, who is this? Oh, okay. On this one, I had to look at it. On this one, it shows I had 3 people. I said 2. 3 people that had to do this for her. But on this one, basically showed that if you can see it, it's not time basically for her to tap into divination. She's been doing divination too much. It's time for her to start doing. It's time for her. She thinks more than she does. So it's time for her to start doing and less thinking. So with that, this is you can write anything on these. As far as using, you could say it's a time for me. You could do my creative skills, or you could put creative skills up here and do whatever you think your creative skills is: writing, knitting, whatever. And when you're doing this, your main idea is to ask, what am I to use now? Or what is there for me to use right now that'll give me the most benefit? And that's how you do indicator candles. As far as using it with the Capricorn energy and the Sagittarius energy. You can also do indicator spells as far as finding out which person can help you the most of the people around you in whatever endeavor that you're in. And you just basically just write their names. The question is, which one can help me the most? Write that question up here. Make sure you leave enough space so you can see the difference in the wax in between. And you're going to write their names, and after the last name you write, always put unknown at the bottom. Always put unknown, because if none of these are it, if none of these names are it, and you'll know it is it because it'll be very clear. The more chalky it is, the less likely they are to help you. The clearer it is, the more likely they can help you. So if none of these names can help you, you always want to put unknown down there so you know somebody that you haven't met yet. So that's one way to use the Capricorn energy of the full moon to help you see what you have right here and now, because the full moon is based off of everything already came together, everything is created and is solidified. So you want to see whether what you got right now is actually helping you or hindering you, how you can use it. You could do is thousands of ways to use the indicator spell or indicator candle. Thousands of ways you can use it. Like I said, you can use it for people, person, places, things. You can even use it for the next thing you should study that'll help you in the area that you're going into. Like, you know, if you want to know, should you start studying a little bit of Wicca? Personally, I think everybody should study a little bit, or at least have an understanding of almost every religion that they can, to get a broader perspective, so their spirit has more to work with when it comes to the logical mind. Because the logical mind is the one that has to interpret spirit, and it only can interpret based on the information it has. This is why they always say knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have here, the more your spirit can give to you that you can understand here and get the understanding and use it towards you. So again, you can put different religions here, or you can just put different practices, Reiki, pendulum, Reiki, chakras, or Tantra, or whatever. You can put all that on there and see the next study you should go into that will benefit you the most. So with that, this video is 10 minutes, 11 minutes right now. I didn't want it to be this long, but I did want to help you out with a little bit of idea of how to use that new moon energy, and understanding Friday the 13th is not a bad thing. It's actually a great doorway. And with it being on Friday, the day of Venus, and with it being we will be in a Neptune retrograde then, and we'll also be in a Mercury retrograde then. Venus is the day of beauty. It's the day of physical beauty. It'd be a great day to do those things and pull physical things to you of all types that you can use to create life the way that you want it. Okay? Everybody stay blessed. Peace.